Hi guys, I wanted to come on here and share my labor and delivery story. It was 11 years ago. Well, it'll be 11 years ago in September now. But I want to share it with you because one, I want to have it documented, and two, if you are watching this, I want you to learn from my mistakes and just you'll see what I mean when I go into the story. I don't know if this is going to be long or short, but yeah. So it was September 2008. And September 8th, 2008, I had an appointment to check my amniotic fluid. I was about 34 weeks out already, and 34 to 36 weeks out. And I went to my appointment. Before I went to my appointment, I went to get something to eat. I remember because I was starving. I went to get something to eat. I couldn't eat for the appointment, so I wanted to save my food for after because I was starving that morning. So I went to my appointment. As I was getting ready to leave and just waiting for them to let me know, you're okay, whatever, you can go. They actually said my amniotic fluid was low and that I needed to stay and I was gonna have the baby that day. So I was like, okay, can I go and move my car because I parked at the meter, which was a lie because I just wanted to go and eat my food. Like, I know you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to eat, or they're not gonna want you to eat. So, but I was starving and I didn't know when I was gonna be able to eat again. So I went to my car, called my boyfriend, called my sister, told them today's the day. Went to my car, started eating, and it was funny because they were calling me from the hospital while I was eating, asking where I was and why I was taking so long, that I needed to go in and I needed to have the baby. So they were rushing me, but I was starving. I needed to eat something. This baby and me needed to eat something. So I go in, 1 or 2 hours into it, I think it was 10:30 in the morning. They started me off on Pitocin, which they say that with Pitocin, your pain is stronger. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's scientifically proven, whatever. But all I know is that was painful. It was very painful to have Pitocin. And my sister and my boyfriend at the time were there. So they started me off on Pitocin. I remember around 12 p.m., my sister and my boyfriend decided to order some Chinese food. And I remember that too because I was starving. I was still hungry. At that time, I was still hungry. So I was very upset that they had food there and it smelled so good and I'm here dying. Yeah, that's how much they loved me. I was dying. I was starving. The pain started coming in. Around 1 o'clock, they had a shift change. So this was my second doctor that was attending. And it was okay. He checked me. I think I was 1 centimeter dilated. They upped my Pitocin, and I was in pain the entire time. I think I was getting a little bit of contractions, but it was still painful. It was very painful, and I wasn't dilating. I wasn't progressing. I wasn't doing anything. I couldn't eat. My throat was dry. I did have a few ice chips, and that was after I kept begging them to give me some, and it was just, I was in horrific pain. It was really, really bad, and I wasn't progressing. So the pain starts tiring you out, your body is going through it, it's going through it. And I remember at nighttime around, I think it was 7 or 8, I had the doctor come in and check me, and they upped my Pitocin before that, but then when he came in, he actually went in with his fingers. I'm sorry if this is too much, but he went in with his fingers to try to open me up a bit manually. But yeah, he tried to open me up manually, and I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the camera, but this is how I think. I know it's bad, but this is how I'm trying to remember everything. So yeah, so he opened me up, which hurt like hell. When he did that, I wanted to kill that doctor. Like, that hurt so bad. On top of the contractions that I was getting, to have that pain, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was 22 years old. I felt like I was too young. What I went through, I felt like I was just too young for that. Like, I was too young to go through that. So at nighttime, I remember him telling me that if I don't progress more, that if I'm not dilated anymore, that they're gonna give me an emergency C-section. So I would think that the doctor before that also told me that too. Depending on how you're doing, we're probably gonna give you an emergency C-section, because I was taking too long. It was taking really long. So the doctor comes and checks on me every few hours, and I think the most I was 2 centimeters dilated, which was horrible. I barely slept during that night. And the next day, that doctor actually leaves. The next day, they take me down to a different room for some reason. They take me down to a different room, and they said I can shower if I wanted to. Again, it was really bad. Like, I was exhausted. I didn't know how to shower, but I didn't want to shower because I felt like maybe that'll help me feel a little bit better. And yeah, I remember them taking me downstairs to a room, and the shower was huge. It was like a walk-in hospital shower, and it was like a room, and my boyfriend actually helped me shower, and I was in pain. So they put me on I showered, thank God. They put me on the bed. My mom was there that day. They put me on the bed. She was worried because of the pain I was in. I was worried. I just wanted it to be over, honestly. I wanted it to be over. I wanted a C-section. I think I had my sister ask them to see if I could get a C-section, and they said no, to wait. And I think that was one of the things, like, I didn't like push them hard enough, and I honestly felt like I was like dying during the time. Like, it was bad. They kept upping my Pitocin. I wasn't dilating at all. Then this midwife comes in. I think it was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is my third doctor by now. The hospital, I'm not gonna name the hospital, but it was kind of all over the place at the time. I think they were very understaffed too. So it was the original midwife that I had that hospital. So that's where I went. The midwife that was supposed to handle my delivery, she was off that day. Like, she wasn't available that day. So this midwife comes. She's very nice. She sounds like she knows what she's doing. I think I'm 5 centimeters dilated, and 5 to 6, and she wants to break my water. So she broke my water. She told me that I asked her, I said, are you gonna be the one delivering my baby? And I remember asking her. She said, yes, I am. You just need to be a little further out. So I'm like, okay. So comes 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 o'clock, they can't find that midwife because she left. Her shift was over. So that was my third doctor that day. Third. They're telling me, sorry, I had a phone call. So that was my third doctor that day. And I was so disappointed and so angry that I couldn't. Like, I couldn't. And at that point, I asked for an epidural, which was okay. It helped me relax a little bit. I did ask for an epidural, and I believe I was tense at around 7 o'clock, 6 to 7 o'clock. I was already 10 centimeters dilated, and the epidural actually wore off. So when I went to ask, I didn't know I was 10 centimeters dilated. So when I went to ask for it, the nurse checked me and she said, unfortunately, you can't have another epidural. You can't have more medicine. So I basically got an epidural for no reason because it wore off already. And I felt like it was time to push. The nurse is telling me, no, don't push. We got to find you a doctor. Do not push. Do not push. I don't know if this is this is your first pregnancy, if you've had kids already, but you get this urge that your body just wants to push. And you can't help it. You can't control it. I couldn't control it. I wanted to push. And this was like a scene from a movie because it was the nurse telling me, don't push, don't push, don't push. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to push. And then it's the nurse and my boyfriend telling me, don't push, don't push. I'm going to push. Then it's my sister and my mom. No, I'm going to push. I started pushing. There was no doctor there. The nurse was there. The nurse ran out the room to try to find a doctor. They said that the doctor that I was supposed to have, he had an emergency C-section going on. So I just started pushing. Somebody was gonna have to be there to get my baby because I needed to start pushing. They bring in this young doctor. No offense to young doctors because my doctor that I have now is young, but this is the resident, and he looked nervous. Like I could see it. I remember he had a mask on. He lifted up my bed to start pushing, to keep pushing, and he had a mask on, and I could see it in his eyes. I was looking at him. He looked nervous. He was telling me to push. I started pushing. The baby was crowning before because they kept telling me to wait. But like I said, I needed to push. So he was crowning a little bit. But I started pushing. They didn't cut me. I did rip a little bit. My skin did, I'm sorry if this is too much, but my skin did rip a little bit. And the baby finally came out, and I remember that feeling. Like it felt, I was relieved that he came out. I still felt pain, but yeah, the baby came out, and then I pushed out the placenta, and after that all happened, I was still in a bit of a pain, and the doctor was pushing down on my, when he wanted the placenta to come out, he was pushing down on my stomach, which hurt even more. And the placenta came out. Then he was going to stitch me up without any he was gonna go stitch me up already without any medication. And I said, no, I need something. Like somebody give me something. For the pain. I was like, you're not gonna give me something so I won't, to numb it? Like, what? So they gave me something to numb it, and again, for no reason, because he did not let the numbing shot like even process or even like take, because as soon as they gave me the shot, he started stitching me up. And I felt the stitches. Like I felt the stitches while he was doing that too. So I felt like I was gonna pass out. Sorry, that was my washing machine. But I felt like I was gonna pass out. I remember the room, the light hitting, I felt like it was a movie because my bed was all the way up. The light was hitting me right here. It was very hot. And I felt like I was having a dizzy spell, and I felt like everything was just turning black. I was telling my mom I couldn't breathe. My mom was crying the entire time because I was in so much pain. I couldn't breathe. There was a darkness coming in. I think I was going to pass out, I guess. There was a darkness coming in like this. And then I remember I started feeling a little bit better, and it was going away. And after that, I was okay. The baby was fine. Thank you, Lord Jesus. He was good. But all of that pain and process that I went through, I needed a long time to recover. It was like 2 to 3 weeks where I started feeling better, because I felt like, I don't know, like I was in a desert or a forest, trapped there for a few weeks, and then I like trying to survive, and then I came back. I don't mean to be dramatic, but it was horrible. It was horrible. And I felt like every doctor was passing the buck, and every doctor was telling me the same thing. Oh, if you're not this far along by this time, then we're gonna give you a C-section. But then when it was that time, they were nowhere to be found. And I got a new doctor telling me the same thing. So, yeah, the baby was fine. It took me a while to recover because I was exhausted. I wasn't able to be like, I mean, even until my third pregnancy now, I was never, it was a little bit, it was better, but I was never the one to be able to just walk up and do this and do that like some women do now. And God bless those women that can do that. But it was just horrible. And since I was in labor for that long, it was about 35, 36 hours, something like that. Since it was that long, my body went through a lot. It went through it. So it took me a while to recover. But yeah, I remember going to my clinic for an update to the clinic to see the midwife, and to, you know, just check to see how it was after the pregnancy and everything. And I told her the story, and you know what she said? She said, oh, if I was there, I would have given you a C-section right away. So where were you? Like, why were you? That was my last appointment with her. Like, I don't even know why I went back, but you know, again, I didn't know any better. So that was the last time I saw her, because I couldn't. I didn't know that with that insurance that I had, you could get your own private doctor. I thought that you just, you know, that was it, that I needed to go to the clinic. But yeah, what I want you to take from this rambling is that if you feel like you cannot take it anymore, or like this, if you feel like enough is enough, speak up. Speak up and tell them, no, this is what I want. This is what you need to do. Also, do your research beforehand. Even if you are young, if you're going to be a teen mom, if you don't know what your insurance provides, I just don't want anybody to go through what I went through. Like, I don't. If, like I said, speak up. Even if they're doctors, sometimes they don't know what they're doing. And you can tell them what you want, what you need, to make you more comfortable, to make sure the baby was okay. It's just, if you feel like you can't take it, or you're not going to be able to live through something, then you need to speak up. Even if it's a doctor, if it's a nurse, if it's whatever, they're there to serve you, basically. They are. The nurses are there to take care of you and to be there for you and to help you. So if you feel like you can't take this anymore and you can't take the pain anymore, speak up. Like, you need to speak up and let them know. You can complain, whatever it is you need. I feel like you need to say it. You need to speak up. Whether you're young, old, whatever, you're a new mom. I'm not saying this is going to happen to you guys. I'm not saying that at all. It was a few years back, but I'm not saying this is going to happen to you guys. But if it feels like it is, then again, speak up. Let them know how you're feeling. Let them know what it is. Try to make sure you get a good doctor, a doctor that you love, that you know will be there. If not, see which doctor will be on call, and see if you like that doctor too. Just make sure you feel comfortable enough. Don't go in like I did, like I was a new mom, but even after the books I read and all that, for that part, I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared. And thank God the baby came out okay. Thank God I came out okay, because I really didn't think I was going to make it. I don't know if I expressed that enough, but I really didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't. My sister till this day tells me how horrific that was. My mom, I remember her going to the bathroom a few times crying because we just didn't know. We didn't know it was going to be like that. But yeah, I'm glad that that was the most important thing, that he came out okay. He's going to be 11 years old now in September. And yeah, for new moms, I wish you good luck. You got this. Again, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. And people may have it worse. Some people may have it worse. Some people, sometimes their labor is a breeze. They have the baby, they're up, they're cleaning, they're doing whatever they need to do. You were in labor for like 4 or 5 hours, that was it? Oh, good for you. But no, yeah. Bless everyone that has had a good labor and delivery, and that will have a good labor and delivery. But yeah, learn from my mistakes. Speak up if you need to. Do your research with doctors. Do your research with doctors and hospitals. And yeah, I wish you luck. I have another story about my son, my third son. I have 2 boys and 1 girl. My son, he was born in September, September 2008. My daughter, she's 3. My son is gonna be 11. My daughter's 4. I'm sorry. My daughter's 4. She turned 5 in August. I'm all over the place. Sorry. She turned 5 in August, and then my son will be 4 in December. So both of my boys, the labor and delivery were bad, like bad experiences. So I will be adding my son's labor and delivery story on here. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, sorry for the rambling, but yeah, I wish you guys luck. You can do this. You can do this. If I was able to do that, you can do your labor. You can go through labor and delivery fine. And yeah, have a nice night, day, wherever you guys are. Thank you for watching.